So we have this new ah sound, ah, like in the word man. What is this table doing here? Okay, it's going to help me tell you a story that has a lot of ah sounds in it. It's not a story, I'm just describing what someone is doing or does. Um, let's begin. Brad is a man who makes jams and sends them to a store to sell. He also makes tables. Fantastic, right? He likes to fabricate. So, first in here, he wants to sand his new table. Sand his new table. What does it mean to sand a table? When you use something like a sandpaper, this is a sandpaper, to rub on a surface, rub on, for example, this table and make it softer, it means you sand a table, for example. Then he's ready to cook some jam in a pan with an axe. Yes, this is in old times when there were no spatulas. They didn't have those. So he'd use an axe to mix jam in a pan. So he makes jams and puts them in jars. And then when the packaging is done, he sends them to salespeople. That's what Brad does. So now let's listen to these words that have the new sound in them. And I want you to just listen. Just focus on what you hear, the way the speaker makes the sound. Don't repeat anything. Don't try to make a sound. Just listen. Ready? Let's do this.
Axe, pan, man, sand, jam, Brad,
Okay, you heard this sound a lot. But if you think you know how your mouth looks when you say the sound ah, when you exaggerate the way you say the sound, how does your mouth look like? Can you imagine your mouth saying ah very strongly? Too much ah? That would look like this. But you don't have to look like this. You just see um, the exaggerated form, which stays in your mind and helps you remember the way we need to make this sound. Okay, now let's see how we should actually make this sound correctly. This is your mouth when you say eh. Well, your lips are spread and your mouth is a little open. Eh, eh. But when you say ah, as you know, you open your mouth a little bit more. Ah. So your mouth is open. Here it's a little open. Here it's open. Ah. So to say the sound, open your mouth a little more and spread your lips. How is your mouth spread? Well, this is spread. This is relaxed lips, rounded lips, and spread lips. So for this sound, ah, you need to spread. Not like this, but okay, a little bit. Then you need to put the tip of your tongue behind bottom teeth. Just the same as when you said eh. The tip of your tongue goes behind your bottom teeth here. You see, in the picture in your book, it doesn't show that exactly. The tip of your tongue is touching your bottom teeth. So it should be like this, the tip. Then lower the back of your tongue. Where is the back of your tongue? This part. This part. And look at this. When you say eh, the back of your tongue, eh, is high. And for you to say ah, you need to lower the back of the tongue. And here it goes lower. Here you can see that this is the tongue, and in here you see that it goes down to say ah. دقیقاً قسمت عقب زبونتون رو کاملا حس کنین که وقتی دارین میگین ا میاد پایین. ا ا نسبت به هم ببینین. وقتی میگین ا بالاتر زبون، بخش عقب زبون، و وقتی که باید بگین ا، همون قسمت رو حس کنین که داره میره پایین. ا همزمان که دارین میگین حواستون به این قسمت قبلی هم باشه که گفتم لب ها چطور باشن، tip of the tongue کجا باشه، اینها رو هم الان همزمان با این انجام بدین. Lips, tip of the tongue, and now the back of your tongue. Ah. Now, where is the front of the tongue? It's not the tip, not here, but here. Here is the front of the tongue. So you need to raise it a little. Now, focus on your tongue, the tip of the tongue behind bottom teeth. Lower the back of the tongue and say ah, ah. And now raise the front of the tongue a little. Raise it. Ah, 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 ah. همزمان که انتهای زبونتون عقب زبون پایینه حس کنین و جلوی زبون رو کمی بالا بیارین. وقتی دارین میگین ا، انتهای زبون بره پایین. ا جلوی زبون یکم میاد بالا وقتی میگین ا. یعنی در واقع همین حالت ایجاد بشه توی دهان. وقتی که انتهای زبون میره پایین و جلوی زبون میاد بالا یکم. میبینی که خیلی هم نیست. چون همزمان طبیعتا وقتی که اون قسمت عقب زبون بره پایین، قسمت جلوی زبون هم خود به خود یکم میاد بالاتر. وقتی میگیم ا وقتی زبونتون رو برای صدای انتهای زبونتون رو دارین میدین پایین، یه انرژی روی جلوی قسمت جلوی زبان بذارین که یک کمی بیاد بالاتر. ا So you see, in here, the back of the tongue goes down and the front of the tongue goes higher. You raise it, it goes up. And the tip of the tongue, this part, goes behind bottom teeth. Man. In Farsi, man. So which sound is longer? or a? Absolutely. The sound a is a short sound. So let's listen to this short dialogue about this beautiful cat and tell me how many sounds do you hear in the whole complete dialogue. توی کلش ببینین چند تا صدای میشنوین. Let's listen.
Let's have a chat about that cat.
My cat?
Yes. It's too fat.
Well, it is a bit fat, but it's a very happy cat.
Oh, it's a very happy cat. It is. Let's listen again and count. Just focus and try to count and check.
Let's have a chat about that cat.
My cat?
Yes. It's too fat.
Well, it is a bit fat, but it's a very happy cat.
So how many sounds did you find in them?
Let's have a chat about that cat.
My cat?
Yes. It's too fat.
Well, it is a bit fat, but it's a very happy cat.
Yes, 9 sounds. Can you say it right? Can you feel your tongue and your lips? Can you remember Rachel's mouth when she was saying accept that? Accept that? So just remember and practice the shape of your tongue and your lips when you say the sound. It's very important and helps you to understand this sound and try to see the difference between this and a very similar sound to a. And which sound is very similar? It's like in let's have a chat. We are going to work on that later, but right now I want you to listen, and I'm not going to pause at all. You pause whenever you like and try to copy the way the speakers talk and repeat after each sentence. But can you feel it? The man in this dialogue is talking in a very serious way. You know, his intonation is falling and his voice is a little bit serious and quiet. He's not making fun of the cat. He's not saying like, haha, your cat is fat. No, he is concerned, he's worried, and he wants her to do something about that. So try to feel and copy the way they sound very well. Okay? Listen and try to copy, to repeat correctly. Go on.
Let's have a chat about that cat.
My cat?
Yes. It's too fat.
Well, it is a bit fat, but it's a very happy cat.
If you're ready, we can go to the next part. Are you with me? Let's go. Okay. The difference, the sound contrasts, minimal pair words. Minimal pair words help us a lot to understand the difference between these two sounds. And here, as a reminder, I have these pictures in here to help you see the difference in your mouth when you say and when you say ah. Okay. In this part, I just want you to listen, look at the pictures, listen carefully, and just make the shape of the sound in that word. اصلا نمیخوام کلمه رو تکرار کنین یا صدایی از اون کلمه مثل اون کلمه بگین. No, no, no. مثل این باشه که مثلا فقط دارین کلمه رو میگین ولی هیچ صدایی ازتون نمیاد. You're mute. You're silent. But your mouth is working. Okay? Use your mouth, make the changes in your lips and your tongue, but don't say the sound. Don't say the word. Okay? This is very important. الان خیلی اصرار و فشاری نذارین روی خودتون که بخواین صدا رو هم بگین. الان فقط تمرکز کنین روی جایگاهی که باید زبان و لبها باشن برای اینکه هر کدوم از این صداها اونجوری که باید و مخصوص خودشون هست تولید بشن. Okay, now let's begin.
2A.
X. Axe. Pen. Pan. Men. Man. Send. Sand. Gem. Jam. Bread. Brad.
Very good. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to show you the written form of the words, the spelling of the words. And again, in this part, when you see and hear the word, pay attention to your mouth. همون کاری که توی قسمت قبلی انجام دادیم اینجا هم همین کار رو میکنیم. فقط اینجا دیگه حالا باید دقت کنین روی شکل اون کلمه و سپلینگش و چیزی که میبینین و میشنوین. بنابراین چیزی نمیگیم. فقط همون کاری که انجام میدادیم و اینجا هم تکرار میکنیم. Good luck. Let's begin.
2A.
X. Axe. Pen. Pan. Men. Man. Send. Sand. Gem. Jam. bread, brad,
همین خیلی مهمه که هی دائما اون زبون، اون لبها دائما از این حالت برای گفتن صدای هی تغییر شکل بدن به سمت صدای و برای هر کلمه، برای هر مینیمال پر تکرار بشه. این تغییر دادنش و اون حس کردنش و اون تمرکز روی اون تفاوتشون خیلی خیلی باعث میشه که شما اونو تو ذهنتون نگه دارین و یادتون بمونه و زمانی که میشنوین هم اونها رو از هم بتونین تشخیصشون بدین، تفاوتشون رو متوجه بشین. And now it's time for us to listen and repeat. So now make the sound. Focus on your mouth, on the changes in your lips and your tongue, and repeat. So I don't put a pause between words in here. So you do that. You pause after each word or after each pair. For example, after this part, you can pause. After this word, you can pause. It's on you. You can do that whenever you want. So now listen, see the word, feel it in your mouth, and say, make the sound. Go on.
2A.
X, axe, pen, pan, men, man, send, sand, gem, jam, bread, brad.
Wonderful. Very good. Nice. I have told you that a is a short sound, right? But when you heard pen, pan, they sounded the same. This a and this sounded as long as each other. This was not very short. Why was that? Did I lie to you? No. I'm going to tell you what happens when the a sound becomes longer in words. So let's see how it happens. We have two consonants. They are not vowels. And you know, to say these, I want you to touch your neck. Put your hand on your neck. Say this sound with me. D. D. What do you feel? Do you feel any vibrations on your neck? لرزش. When you say D. Yes, you feel vibration because this consonant, this sound is voiced. Let's say this. Hand on neck. Say it. T, t, t. No vibrations. So this is unvoiced consonant. So what are they? Why do we need these? Let's see. We have animal pair words, and in both we have the sound, the vowel sound a. Listen to me. First of all, I say this and then this. The sound a becomes different in these two words? Listen and tell me. What is it? Bad, bad, bat, bat. What do you think the difference is? The S sound in bad is longer. Bad. But the A in here has its normal, the usual sound it has. Bat. It's shorter. The sound is shorter in here. So why does this happen? As I told you, here we have a voiced consonant. It has sound. You can hear your voice. You feel vibrations on your neck. So the vowel sounds, any vowel sound, before a voiced consonant becomes longer. But it only happens when that vowel sound is in a stressed syllable. So if that syllable is not stressed, this won't become longer. Remember, this is important to know when you want to speak, to use the right way of saying that. And also in listening, because the sound A and the sound E are the two sounds that are mistaken when they are heard. That mistake happens more when we have voiced consonant after it. دلیلش چی میتونه باشه؟ به خاطر اینکه صدای ا خودش به طور معمول اینه که it's a long sound، صدای طولانیه، صدایی که میکشیمش. اما صدای ا is a short sound، صدای کوتاهه. اما مواقعی هست که طولانی تر میشه. به خاطر طولانی تر بودنش بیشتر با صدای ا اشتباه گرفته میشه. پس روی این باید آگاهی داشته باشیم و تمرین. Let's take a look at the minimal pair words. The first pair, X, axe. You see, in here, this short sound, A, and we say axe, axe. A, k, k, k. K is voiceless. So, this A is short. This A has the normal short sound it has. But look at the other pairs and tell me, is the A sound long or short? Look at them and tell me. To do this, we need to touch our necks. Neck, your neck. Touch your neck and say the consonant after the sound A. Touch your neck and say N. N. It's voiced. So it is longer. Pen, pan. Long. Again, long sound. Again, long. Say mm. It's voiced again. So, long. Jam, jam, jam. Say d. Again, it's voiced. You hear your voice. So, it's again long. Now let's do an exercise that helps us notice and understand the differences between these two sounds. Let's do the exercise. You will hear 5 words from each minimal pair. For each word, write 1 for sound 1, or 2 for sound 2. We've had this kind of exercise before, so we're familiar with the way we should do this. An example for pair 1 is for the word X and X. When you hear write 1, and when you hear write 2. Let's do an example.
Axe, axe, X, X, axe.
Be ready to write numbers for each sound. Ready? Let's go.
pen, pan, pan, pen, pen.
Men, men, man, man, man.
Sand, send, send, sand, sand.
Gem, 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 jam, jam.
Brad, bread, bread, brad, bread.
It's okay if you want to rewind the video and listen again. But now if you're ready, we can continue this video and check the answers.
Pen, pan, pan, pen, pen.
Men, men, man, man, man.
Sand, send, send, sand, sand.
Gem, 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 jam, jam.
Brad, bread, bread, brad, bread.
I hope you've got your answers right. But if you have any problems and maybe some of the words are wrong for you, and maybe you wrote a wrong number, you can listen again to the audio and try to think about, for example, you write number 1 in here instead of 2. I mean, a wrong answer. You need to remember how we make the sound and how we make the sound I mean, the position of your tongue, jaw, and lips. And try saying these sounds separately, then try to say the word. First of all with this sound, and think and feel the changes in your mouth, the positions, and then say it with say that word with and again feel and think about those positions for this sound while you're saying it. And then play again and listen and try to make the changes in your mouth while listening to the audio. و بعد همون قسمتی رو که مشکل دارین بعدش که آدیو اون کلمه رو میگه شما بعدش تکرار کنین. تا این تصحیح اتفاق بیفته. Well done until now. Let's continue and go forward. Ready? I am ready.